Hello everybody, it's Rosie and I'm back with a brand new book. This time, my book is about, well, us. Really, it's about a character by the name of Betty Longlegs. But all of us have something about us that we don't necessarily appreciate as much as we could. It could be our hair, it could be our eyes, it could be our arms, it could be our hands, something about us. And sometimes it's not the problem with the part of us. It's the part when we don't recognize that actually there's some good in things that may not seem so good at first. So, the book is Betty Longlegs by Victoria McDonald. Our Betty's got incredibly long legs. The other children at the school laugh and make fun of Betty, especially as she wears funny-looking clothes. Her mother says it's Betty's fault for having such useless long legs that don't fit into regular clothing. Instead of wearing one pair of trousers like everybody else, Betty has to wear 3 pairs. Her mother has to sew extensions onto the leg parts, which often look very wonky. See the wonky pants? The children at school don't like to play sports with Betty either. She can run the 10 meters in 2 strides, which is so annoying. There must be something I can do with these stupid long legs, she thought one day. She spent all day thinking, but couldn't come up with an answer. I can't think of any use for my long legs, Betty sighed, as she walked home gloomily. As Betty walked with her head down, she hadn't realized there was a considerable commotion ahead of her. Mrs. Twinkleberry's cat, called Kiwi, had got herself stuck up in the tallest oak tree on Betty's street. Meow. The fire brigade was trying to rescue Kiwi, but it was no use. Their longest ladder barely reached halfway up the old oak tree. What are we going to do? Nobody is tall enough to get Kiwi down, said the fire chief to her crew. Mrs. Twinkleberry started to cry hysterically. In between sobs, Betty heard her shouting, "Can anyone save my precious Kiwi?" How sad Miss Twinkleberry is. Just then, Betty had an idea. Perhaps she could reach Kiwi with her incredibly long legs. Betty ran down the street towards the fire crew, and it only took her 3 strides to get to them. "Excuse me, Mrs. Twinkleberry, can I be of any assistance?" Betty asked politely. "Oh, Betty, it is hopeless. No one can reach my Kiwi," Mrs. Twinkleberry said, not realizing it was Betty Longlegs she was talking to. "But I can. I've got long legs," Betty reminded her with a big smile. "That's right. You have extremely long legs," Mrs. Twinkleberry said excitedly. "Betty! Oh, Betty, please could you try and save my Kiwi? She is the only friend I have." "I will give it my best try," Betty said as she climbed the fire crew's ladder. Kiwi was clinging to the thinnest branch so tightly that Betty was amazed she had not snapped it already. As Betty grabbed Kiwi, her eyes were still tightly shut. Betty gently brought Kiwi down the ladder to safety. "Kiwi!" Mrs. Twinkleberry rushed over to give Kiwi a big hug, and only then did Kiwi open her eyes. Mrs. Twinkleberry thanked Betty for all her help. All the fire crew were applauding Betty and cheering for her rescue effort. The chief firefighter came over to congratulate Betty. "Well done, Betty. How would you like a job as a special rescue firefighter?" she asked. "Those extremely long legs of yours can be very useful for rescues in high places." Betty smiled and replied, Thank you. I would like that job very much. Excellent, the fire chief said, shaking Betty's hand. Thank you, Betty. Now, take this pager. Whenever we need your help on a high rescue, we will page you. Betty took the pager and thanked the fire chief once more. Betty walked home with an extra spring in her step, and she was proud of her rescue efforts today. Betty couldn't wait to tell her mother that she was now a special rescue firefighter. She smiled, as most of all she couldn't wait to tell her mother she had finally found something useful to do with her incredibly long legs. She was really happy. The end. And we want to thank the author, Victoria McDonald, for not only writing the story, but also drawing these wonderful pictures of Betty and Kiwi and Miss Twinkleberry and the fire crew, all to help Kiwi get out of that tree. I'm really happy that Betty found out what those long legs could be used for. I'm sure if you thought really hard, think about the ways in which you have some special talents that you might be able to share. I hope to hear from you. Take care.